Binance takes a hit to the chin while Coinbase seems to inevitably win. There's nothing to see here. Shouldn't we be at a rally protesting the latest thing? It's Bitcoin crypto morning tea. Hey. Good morning, everybody. My name's pianomattyb. That is Scaramucci's. And this is your morning tea. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets where the sun's shining, where the winds play. All the humble opinion of this piano Zamboni. Bring in the The FOMO index has dropped down to 62 from yesterday's 71. Bitcoin dominance is 51.6%. 24-hour volume is 71 billion. The overall market cap is 1.39 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, it looks like that bearish divergence we're talking about for longer than I'd like to remember. Will she finally played out? But we talked about this, so it should have come as no surprise to anyone in this boutique community. When Bitcoin price action, will she had a little dumb, possibly retesting its original support way down at 35.3, which is a significant level of confluence over on the ding dong, because 35.3 is the goldenest of golden ratios, the Sigurd 1.8% fib, bearish engulfing candle after a pump usually denotes a reversal's in play. A scenario to be expected would be to retest our channel's resistance, now acting as support down at 36.5-ish. Seems we have some old school textbook bearish diversion on the RSI, as price action has made higher highs while the RSI has made lower highs. This is a signal we may see some downward bearish action. Lord love a duck if she didn't do just that. After failing a retest of resistance, up at 37.7, Bitcoin was once again denied and rejected as it sulked down to retest our ascending channel support and failed miserably, crashing through it, then said, "No, I'm a bull," and tucked back in, then said, "Nah, I'm a bear," and headed straight back down, right through our old ascending channel support line, finding a bottom and a bounce at 35.5, has rallied quite nicely back to a time of production, 36.7. So we're back in our old ascending channel. I'd like to break up and out of her at 37K, which is also this chart's 38.2% FIM. Getting back into this ascending channel would write off yesterday's dump as a violent market correction. We could get on with our lives. Failing that, we'll likely float back down to retest support. 36.1. Now over on the ding dong, we also broke down and out of our ascending triangle, carving out and closing a hella bearish engulfing candle. Now this usually signals additional bearish pressure, but we have recovered somewhat nicely, closing this candle today back inside her at or above 37K would be a nice bullish sign. But if And I say if we can't do that, it increases the probabilities of us continuing on the bearish side, quite possibly retesting this channel support way down at 34.1. Market corrections, well, they're valid and necessary. We see them all the time. It's no need to worry. We've sailed back to the 20 moving average. We rubbed our belly, so now we can hopefully continue up. The robot quant algo bots can only push the price around so much when FUD is unleashed onto the market. But with 80% of hodlers off and locked in their cold storage, Bitcoin's future is, and has always been, number go up and up and up. And would you look at that, my friends? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth. A day we're not guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days, but we're lucky enough to have them anyway. So get out there and knock them dead. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected leads. That's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. And we'll be going live right away, so grab yourself a coffee, join me for a quick one, and please sing it with me now. I'll run the banks, a boom, dash, bang, Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey, whoa, ching. Another beautiful day here on planet Earth. Isn't that right? Mango. That's right, it's mango. Good morning, everybody. What a day yesterday. What a day. And just enjoying the coffee. The coffee enjoyed around the world at 8:06 a.m. It's an interesting concept. Everyone sitting at their respective homes, having a cup of coffee, watching the Tshirts, Sneaky Pete vaporizers. Yeah, it was bearish and bullish whistle. Going black today. Good luck on that one. Going black on the coffee. It's like one day it just makes sense. You may battle it for a while. It's like, it's just too bitter. It's like I just don't enjoy it like I used to. Then all of a sudden, boom, you start enjoying it. Here's the frogs in me throat right now. There we go. What happened yesterday? What happened? Old CZ. CZ had to call it quits. It's interesting. You know, there's a lot of, I think the movie when it plays out, like, Jesus, how good is that movie going to be if it involves the 2020 bull run? Just that and this one with Sam Bankman-Fried, and then who's the guy from Celsius, the Russian guy? I can't believe I don't remember his name. All the exchanges going down, and Gary Gensler. Who do you think would play Gary Gensler? Maybe Gary Sinise? No, Gary Sinise is too handsome to do that. Good morning, Scotty Moe. Look at this, everybody. Scotty Moe yesterday sent me a really nice gift, or Duke, should I say. He had this little letter. Hey, Duke, you've been killing it on singing us out every morning. I just wanted you to have a few of these youth-size hats to match your dad. Keep on rocking. P.S. I also included a cool shirt. So, he also, look at that. There's Duke. It's a bullish hat. He's got the bullish hat. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but that's the loneliest Lamborghini. Scotty Moe sent Duke that. So thank you very much, Scotty Moe. Much appreciated. Scotty Moe made this hat too. He's the king of all T-shirts. Retro Mike Tech, thank you for the super chat. Every time I see a super chat on these, like on the morning stream, I'm always waiting for a request because I only see super chats usually on the piano stream. Abby Dewan, BNB FUD, Tether FUD now. Yeah, well, they're coming after Tether. So what is the ongoing conspiracy that they're trying to clean up? And I don't mean clean up like get rid of dirty
actors. I think they're trying to clean up the environment so they control it all. So there's one, it's almost like they're trying to take the decentralization aspect of it, the choices you have on an exchange, out for Americans anyway. So you can't use this, you can't use that. You got to only use, Coinbase. Wow. Interesting how that works. They're all the people that Got a Life Dude has really good handwriting. Yeah, way better than mine, that's for sure. All the massive hedge funds like BlackRock, Citadel, etc., the list goes on. They have a vested stake in Coinbase. So you can see how these things kind of can come together now. Is it all just coincidence? That's right, Alex Mashinsky. Thank you, Solo CRX. Is it just coinky-dinks that CZ had to fold his hand, had to sacrifice himself on the altar of the SEC and the DOJ? And now Coinbase takes the lead with basically no second or third place. Just them out there, backed by all the hedge funds that are going to be aping in. Isn't that interesting how that works? Could be nothing. Might be just all a bunch of coinky-dinks, right? Because that's all. Anything. There's nothing coordinated with these politicians or Wall Street or anything, because that would be conspiracy. And we know conspiracy theories don't exist, right? Well, they did, and then they all got proven true. So now we're out. We're out of conspiracy theories. But that's the latest one, if so much. Alrighty. Richard Tweddle. Here's your boy, Chucky Tweddle. We're going to help him. He's going to help me with the charts today. Look at that. We had to reinstate our old ascending channels support. It's a sad day, but that's what's happened. At least we went under and came right back up. Hit the 50 moving average and came back down. Right now we're up against it. 50 moving average is a little under the 50% fib, 36.7. So I like to look at this rally back. This is a massive 4-hour red candle. It's huge. It's huge. And look at this rebound. It's decent. I mean, we have your typical pushback. What I'd like to see, up and back in. I want to get rid of this. I don't want that there anymore. I want that to be a support line of yesteryear. So we're going to want price action to get back up there, which is, look at that. Holy smokes, the 38.2% fib. Mo fib favorite. Once we're above over there, we can kind of just write this off, right? Write it off. As a market correction from the CZ FUD, the Binance FUD. And there might have been a little bit of a minute. The Fed minutes came out and it was rather, I don't know if you could say it, hawkish, but they said, they might keep rates longer than anticipated, which is no big surprise to anyone really keeping their eye on that. Is that the biggest surprise? No, but these robot quant bots, if that, then this, if this, then that. And then they come out, that combined with a little bit of fun, but it's not like retail sellers. It's not like retail sellers are sitting there going, what? CZ quit? Sell. It's not. It's the robot quant bots. And like I said in the video, there's only so much pressure they can put until it gets bought up. There's a million people waiting to buy dips. There's not a million people waiting to sell. There just isn't. WIC IRS to delay tax reporting through Venmo amounts over 600. Well, that is a win, but I always fear it's a classic move. They come in with some over the top implementation. We're going to tax everything over $600. And everyone's like, this is insanity. This is the worst. It's got to change. Meanwhile, they probably never wanted to do it. They'll bring it back and then they'll come up with something like 2,000, right? Which is still just as bad. It's just not as bad, right? Why did they do that? I don't know. But it makes 2,000 a relief. Oh, it's just 2,000. Well, at least it's not $600. Take a look at the ding dong here. So if you can remember last week, Friday, this is what I drew, this arrow coming down, and I didn't want to see it. We haven't yet. So we have this massive bearish engulfing candle. Look, it's engulfing basically the past 4 days of gains. Boom, gone. I mean, the ultimate bullish thing would be to see this candle engulf the bearish. We could have a bullish engulfing candle. That would be our best case scenario. Where does that take us? We would have to close this candle today at 37.4, which is, $800 from where we are now. Not the worst. You guys see Fish is locked and loaded down here. He's going to be helping us out too, but we're going to get Chucky Tweddle to help us out today. Sneaky beat vaporizers. I wonder if everyone's not wanting to sell their Bitcoin will have an impact on price long term, like in a negative sense. Like in a negative sense. How do you mean, Sneaky Pete? Maybe I read that wrong, and now it's out. Now I can't read it again. Sometimes I wonder if people not selling will have a positive effect in the diminishing returns of the bear market, so to speak. Because if you rode this one down, like most of us, hey, David Sony Music, pianomattyb OG, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. If you rode this one down, well, I mean, you could ride the next one down. Because the thing is, this is what goes through my head. And tell me if this goes through your head. Ultimately, it would be nice to get out at the top of the market, move it into some USDC, if that's your thing, and wait for a 50% crash, and then just get back in. Let's say it goes back down to, it gets 70 or 20 or 30% more down. Well, that is, okay, so you missed 30%. Who cares? You're still going to make 50% from where you got out. Now, this is where I fear, and maybe this is what everyone's always feared, and we always think it's different, that we always hear that it's different this time, it's different this time. My big fear is that we don't really see the clawback anymore because we have these big hedge funds involved that really don't want to listen to phone calls from their investors saying, what is going on with Bitcoin? Oh, don't worry about it. It's just retraced 70%. Are you telling me my investment in this ETF has retraced 70%? See, the type of people that would get into the ETF, they can't handle a 70% retracement. And I think that might be built in to their long-term strategy goals, whether they can maintain and prop up or manipulate the market enough to not see a 70% retracement. That's what I'm thinking. But until that happens, I mean, we're just going to stay the course and follow these cycles. We parabolic run up, parabolic run down. That stops higher than the last drop, in theory. So my fear is that you get out. Let's say what you think is the top. Let's say it's 300K. Okay, that'd be great. Bitcoin gets to 300K. You're like, okay, I'm going to be very disciplined. I'm going to get out here. I'm going to sell a big portion, right? You don't want to sell it all. You don't want to be out of Bitcoin. But then it just never goes down really. We got these massive hedge funds with a 1-2 punch, right? 1-2 punch coming in when people think it's the winter, and it escapes, and now you're buying in at a lesser. That's my fear anyway. So will it keep me in to ride out another crypto winter? Maybe. I mean, I don't have any long-term plans on cashing it in for dirty fiat money to buy things. I don't. It's more like a dynastic legacy type thing for old Duck Duck when he's older. Because I think about him, he's 8 years old now, 18. He's got 2 to 3 more cycles before, let's say, he gets a Bitcoin, right, from his old man. Yeah, my dad was a pianomattyb. He was pretty big into Bitcoin, So that's what I do. It would be a shame to sell it. So that's what'll probably keep me in when the market goes kaboomski, whether it does or not. Let's take a look here. Did we do the weekly? Nothing's changed on the Wookiee. Nothing's changed on the Wookiee. We're still there. Look at that. Chucky. I guess if 34.1, this is kind of lining up too. So we got 33.9 here as our support for on the weekly. If we were to go down to 34.1, that's pretty close to this. And at that point, geez, we don't want it to go any lower than that, really. That's our support. And, what's the 61.8, 31.4? Yeah, I can't see it. Here's the thing, though. I've said 34.1 for the past 2 weeks. Brendan, ipso facto, do not sell your Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, it's not in my plan to sell my Bitcoin. It's just a thought, how to maximize some gains. How do you really make the big gains? Well, you got to risk it, I suppose. And I'm not in Bitcoin to risk it so much anymore. I'm in for the long haul, for the revolution, you might say. I've said 34.1 so many times, and I don't like saying that because, I don't, like I say all the time, I don't write the scripts to feed a narrative. I just write the scripts based on what the technical analysis tells me, and I pass it on. So when 34.1 comes up all the time, just the way 35.3 is funny because the past week or so, 2 weeks, we've been 125 likes gets Duke out here to sing some musical shout outs for the viewers and the subscribers and the whatnot. It feels weird when it's hella bullish and I'm coming out with these kind of bearish, beware of the negative divergence, the bearish divergence. I feel like there's a part of me that doesn't want to party poop and rain on the bullish parade. So I tend to water it down, even though I basically will always say it in every video. But it's weird to, talk about TA when everything's bullish, when I think, there's all these retracements going to happen, because if you've been in here long enough, retracements is just to be expected in what is healthy. The revolution sacks man too when Amazon accepts Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm still when Amazon accepts Bitcoin, it will be a big bullish pump, right? But I still don't think, like for me anyways, I'm not buying anything on Amazon with Bitcoin. Bitcoin would have to be astronomical level where now we're talking Satoshis, right? We're just talking buying in Satoshis, and that's it. That's the only really way I would ever do that. Morning, Fish. JP, don't worry about that. It's smart to discuss bullish or bearish possibilities. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't stop me from it, like I said, but it just feels weird, and then, when it comes true, when we have these pullbacks, it's, we talked about it, we talked about these things, so it's no big deal. And it's to be expected. However, back to this Wookiee, I don't really want to see this come to fruition. I don't really want to see 38.2%, 33.9 or 34.1. Dickie Tweddle, 34.1 it is then. So that's not really what I want to see. But, like I said, 34.1. Saxman, yes, I agree when the satisfied becomes the fiat value. Yeah, if you talk to or you listen to a bunch of Bitcoin maxis, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. They're never going to sell their Bitcoin. Why would you sell your Bitcoin? And then there's the concept of borrowing against. And I think that is borrowing against is maybe in the imagination of a financial pinch. In lieu of selling into fiat, borrowing against would be an option to not lose custody if that happens in this next bull run. Let's say Michael Saylor has this bank, the borrow against bank or whatever. I don't know how it would work. I could see people doing that in a pinch. However, it's not really in my my strategic plan when it comes to Bitcoin to sell out. sell out into a fiat or borrow against, which makes me wonder sometimes, well, what is it? There's just to hold it. Well, it's part of the revolution. You got to be there. I'll be there till the end, so to speak. Bitcoin down 2%, ETH up 1%, Sol down 2%, Binance 4.3 billion fine, CZ pleads guilty and steps down. Sacrificial lamb at that point. 200 million liquidation, market falls after Binance news. Binance sees 1 billion in outflows. Tang, I don't know who Tang is, the new CEO. Mt. Gox hints Bitcoin repayment could start soon. It's that Mt. Gox fear porn that's coming up. All right, BCL for pay taxes on it, true, if that's your thing. Mt. Gox hints Bitcoin. The Bitcoin fear porn is back with Mt. Gox. Grayscale moves closer to ETF after SEC meeting. Does it? That's this. We went for, so Mt. Gox is the fear porn. Grayscale ETF closer is the ETF porn that always comes out. And I probably should stop saying that word on YouTube. It'll flag it. Stablecoin liquidity up 5 billion from lows and rising. That just means people are on the sidelines chomping at the bit. That's why I don't really care. This analogy of the hodler sitting there going, do your worst, dump, I don't care. It's a real thing, with all these stablecoin liquidity on the side waiting to get back in. The stocks fall as Fed minutes point to restrictive policy. Big surprise. Now, this was weird. Sam Altman returns as OpenAI CEO. I remember on Monday or Friday when it was kind of fresh, I was like, this is weird. Something's weird here. So am I to believe he was fired and then he was hired by Microsoft? Then he was rehired by OpenAI because there's a new board? It's bizarre. I don't really understand it. Brendan, if they want to shake you out of the best asset in existence, the FUD and manipulation will never cease. Yeah, well, but the thing is, when you've been here long enough, like everyone in this chat, there's no FUD or manipulation that shakes us out. We're sitting there. Do your worst. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Which makes me wonder who does. And my answer is always these. Robot algo quant bots. If this, then. Good morning, Bitcoin Bahuki. Quick. Let's listen to ourselves. I think 30K Bitcoin is undervalued at this point. Will we get to 30K? I'm not sure. Where are we at? 80 likes. Doesn't look like we're going to get Duck out here. He asked yesterday, so I'm not singing out. And like, oh, we got rules here, Duke. We got rules. If we want to see, maybe we'll do we can answer. If you have any questions, I'll give him maybe we're at 8:27. Couple minutes, see if we can get there. If not, no big deal. We can just look at Duke's picture here. The loneliest Lamborghini in the wild. That's an amazing shirt. Made me think I should probably design a shirt, the loneliest Lamborghini in the world. UFO nut, similar to what they did to Arthur Hayes. Yeah, and Artie Hayes, I don't think he saw any jail time, did he? He took a slap on the wrist, maybe a fine. But at the end of the day, the funny thing is the relativity of wealth. If he has to pay $4.3 billion, not him. It's not coming out of his pocket. He's arguably one of the most wealthiest men in the world. Now, what is his? It's kind of like Michael Saylor, right? Maybe in 2025, he may be the most wealthiest man that humanity's ever known based on a fiat regime. So, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, CZ. So when he hits 4.3 billion for us, it's like, oh my God, how could that possibly? But the relative aspect of it, it's it could be 3 to 4% of the net worth of Binance itself. Retro Mike Tech. How many super chats for a sing out? Dave is rich AF. I've been looking at some of Dave's tweets. It seems like he's killing it on the swing trading. Good for you, Dave Digital. That's amazing. Takes balls of steel to be out there doing those swing trades. How much will they spend to dump it to buy it up? Yeah. Sometimes I think the aspect of manipulation when it comes to these hedge funds, it's just not in their game. You know what I mean? Like whales, I could see them doing it because they can make a quick buck on a big swing turnaround. But these hedge funds, I just don't think that they're at the level where they think that way. But I could be wrong, because guess who's not at that level and doesn't know how they really think? Me. So who knows? I'm wondering about doing a video tomorrow. It being Thanksgiving. I know holidays are usually people. I always thought that people would watch YouTube more on holidays, but I found that people don't really respond to videos on holidays. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make a video, but if there's movement, I'll make a production video. If there's no movement, I'll probably do a live just to touch base with anyone who's maybe not traveling or not at home or staying at home and just enjoying a day off with whatever. We'll get the day started with a cup of coffee and something nice like that. A cup of coffee held around the world and enjoyed, whether it's black or with cream. Who cares? Enjoy it. Enjoy your day, everybody. Have a great one if you're traveling. Have safe travels, and we'll see you tomorrow. That was supposed to be the button that takes us out.
Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video.